what are asset classes? What is multi-asset?
Right, so asset classes are groups of investments, different types of investments grouped together in unique ways. So you're looking for a common driver. So for example, people are very familiar with shares, the equity market. If you think about the JSE, there are different types of businesses that are listed on this JSE, but they all fall under the banner that we would call equity. Then you get bonds. Those are debt instruments issued by either governments or corporates that work much the same as your mortgage bond. You would lend money to that government or to that company, and then they would agree to repay you according to a specific schedule. So those are the two main asset classes that we would come across, and then they can branch out into variations of that.
So a multi-asset fund has got different assets all together in one.
Exactly. So what a multi-asset class boutique such as ours would do is we would look to pull together the different asset classes in ways that we believe make sense in terms of delivering to the end goals of the client.
All right, and I believe that Macro Solutions and that 2019 is a very special year for Macro Solutions. Why is that?
Well, we have the Old Mutual Balanced Fund, which turned 25 years old earlier this year. It's one of the oldest balanced funds in the country, and we're very proud of the fact that it's been able to deliver to the real return objectives of our clients over that time period. So we think it's an amazing achievement. It's 18 billion in size, so it's well supported by the market.
Wow.
But I think the key thing for me is that we've been able to deliver those returns consistently over time.
Wow, that's very interesting and quite impressive. 18 billion, 25 years, a balanced fund, it's a multi-asset fund. Tell us a bit more about that, please.
So what we're doing is we're bringing together assets from all over the world, local, global. And if you remember back in 1994 when the fund was started, we weren't allowed to have money offshore. So all that money back then was in-house, in country. And then as the foreign exchange regulations were relaxed, we were taking money overseas. And so over the time, that fund has become more and more diversified in nature. And so our function is to think about how to pull those different asset classes together to deliver the inflation-beating returns that our clients need.
So bringing it home, Villic Wealth is an independent financial advisory practice that focuses on retirement. So for us and other wealth managers, Gontse, how will the Old Mutual Balance Fund fit into a client's retirement portfolio?
I think it can fit in well in three ways. The first is through the consistency of performance that we've delivered. The second would be by delivering with a more stable path of performance or delivery, and I'll elaborate a bit more on that. And the third would be in our ability to blend well with other balanced funds. In terms of consistency of performance, our fund has performed well in terms of delivering to client inflation plus requirements and outcomes, but it's also very competitive when you compare it to other balanced funds in the market. So it does well there. On the second point, in terms of a more predictable path of performance, our portfolio managers don't only look at price when making investment decisions, they also consider prevailing market themes. And the second part of that is that risk management, which everybody practices. In our case, though, our risk management has gotten better over time, and that has not been at the cost of performance. Actually, when you look at the graphs that we have, you'll be able to see that as volatility has decreased in the portfolio, performance has continued to increase. And then lastly, which I mentioned, is our fund has a low correlation to other balanced funds in the market. So when you blend it with other balanced funds, you reduce risk exposure as well as volatility for the client, which means that the client and the advisor both have peace of mind. And that's very important for retired people.
Yes, especially with retirement just being another step in the journey of life.
Absolutely.
Graham, Gontse, thanks so much for today.
Thank you.
Thank you.